This is the notes for 3.4, the distributive property. According to the distributive property, you distribute or pass out a multiplication to each part of a sum or difference in parentheses. In 2 parentheses a plus b, the 2 is multiplied to both the a and the b, so we pass out the 2. So then our result is 2a plus 2b, which means the same thing as 2 times a plus 2 times b. Let's take a look at these examples. So in the first example, we have 4 times the quantity of 7 plus 5. This means the same thing as 4 times 7 plus 4 times 5 because we are passing out or distributing the 4 to both the 7 and the 5. If we multiply, we have 28 plus 20, so our final answer would be 48. Notice also that if we were to add the 7 and 5 together, we would have 12. 4 plus 12 still gets that result of 48. In the second example, we have variables. We have 6 times the quantity of x minus 9. So in this example, we're passing out the 6 to both the x and the 9. So we have 6 times x minus 6 times 9. Notice that the symbol in between the x and 9 is subtraction, so we use that same symbol in our answer. So 6 times x is 6x, 6 times 9 is 54. So your final answer is the expression 6x minus 54. Number 1 says use the distributive property and mental math to find 6 times 82. So looking at the number 82, we can break apart that number into 2 pieces. We can break that up into 80 plus 2. So using distributive property here, we can see that 6 times 80 plus 6 times 2 will give the same result. So 6 times 80 is 480. 6 times 2 is 12. Altogether, we have 492. Number 2 says use the distributive property and mental math to find 5 times 46. So for this one, we can break up the 46 into 40 plus 6 so that we can more easily multiply. So 5 times 40 plus 5 times 6. 5 times 40 is 800. 5 times 6 is 30. Add them together, we have 830. So that means that 5 times 46 is 830. Now let's take a look at some variable expressions. Number 3, we have 11 times the quantity x plus 7. So we are distributing or passing out the 11 to the x and the 7. So we have 11 times x plus 11 times 7. That gives us 11x plus 77 as our final expression. Number 4, we have 8 times the quantity of c minus 4. So we're passing out or distributing the 8 to the c and the 4. So we have 8 times c minus, notice this is subtraction in this one, 8 times 4. 8 times c is 8c, 8 times 4 is 32. So that's our simplified expression. Number 5, we have 3 times the quantity 4 plus r plus 3. So notice that in the parentheses, we've got 2 numerical values, a 4 and a 3. I'm going to use the commutative property to rearrange this expression so that the 4 and 3 are next to each other. Okay, now inside the parentheses I can see, again, I have 4 and 3. So I can start just by adding those together. This is still following order of operations because I'm doing an expression inside the parentheses first. So now I can distribute the 3 to the 7 and the r. So that's 3 times 7 plus 3 times r. So our final answer is 21 plus 3r. For number 6, we have 7 times the quantity w minus 3. So we're distributing the 7 to the w and the 3. So 7 times w minus 7 times 3. So our simplified expression is 7w minus 21. The next set of questions says simplify the expression by combining like terms. So for some of these we'll need to distribute and some will just combine like terms. So looking at number 7, we have 7w plus 11 plus 3w. So I see 2 terms with w as your variable, so I'm going to use the commutative property to write those 2 next to each other. So I have 7w plus 3w plus 11. 7w plus 3w is 10w. So then my final answer is 10w plus 11. That's my simplified expression. In number 8, I have b plus b plus b plus b. When you have a variable that has no coefficient, the coefficient is actually 1. So really here we're adding 1b, 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 and 1b. So altogether, that's 4b. Number 9, we have some distributive property here, and we also have some addition. So we're going to start with the distributive property because technically we are multiplying there. We always multiply before we add. So for the first part, we are going to distribute the 4 to the x and 3. So we have 4x plus 12, and then we still have that plus 12 on the right-hand side. Now we're going to add together the like terms. So 12 and 12 are like terms. We can combine them. 12 plus 12 makes 24. So our final simplified expression is 4x plus 24. For number 10, same kind of thing here. We have some distributive property and we have some like terms to combine. So first we'll distribute. So 5 times the quantity y minus 3. So we have 5y minus 15 plus 4y, and I see that I have two like terms. I have two y terms, so I'm going to use the commutative property to put those two next to each other. And now I'll combine like terms. 5y plus 4y is 9y. So my simplified expression is 9y minus 15. Number 11, we have 2c plus 3 times the quantity of f plus 5c. So again, first I'm going to start by distributing because that's multiplication. So I have 2c plus 3 times f plus 3 times 5c. So the 2c stays the same. 3 times f is 3f. 3 times 5c, I'm going to multiply 3 times that 5, and that gives us 15c. So the coefficient here is 15. And now I will add the like terms together. So I have 2c and 15c, using that commutative property again. Combine those, and I have 17c plus 3f as my final expression. Number 12, last one here, we have 4m plus 12 plus m plus 2 times 3m. So there's no distributive property here, because if you look in the parentheses, there's no addition or subtraction there. So that just means that we're multiplying together the 2 and the 3m. So we'll start with that. So we have 4m plus 12 plus m plus 2 times 3m gives us 6m. And now let's use the commutative property to put our like terms together. 4m plus m plus 6m. And then we still have the plus 12. Remember that m is the same thing as 1m, so we're combining 4, 1, and 6. So really we're combining 5m plus 6m plus 12. 5m plus 6m is 11m plus 12 is our final answer. And that is it for your 3.4 notes on the distributive property.